Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be She thought we were exclusive. I was still on dating apps and got caught. So, this particular email is from a viewer. He's been following my work for about 6 years. However, he's still only read 3% Man about 2 times. And on top of that, he happens to be in law enforcement, and quite frankly, he acted out of integrity. He displayed low character traits. You know, it's interesting, I haven't done this for 20 years, and you look at the stats, what you see is like the top 5 careers where people cheat: law enforcement, military, nurses, female bartenders, that kind of thing. And whatever reason, I just see this a lot. And so this guy's in law enforcement. And so he said that he was on the Hinge dating app and they were exclusive, or at least she thought they were exclusive, but yet he still was keeping his options open. And so at some point she found out, and then I guess she went on the T app and put him on blast, and several other women joined in the roasting. And however, those women that joined in, he was like, I never even met those girls. So I assume, because he doesn't really elaborate, he gets real kind of vague, probably because it's not going to make him look good if he was to put in here what really happened. But she goes on the T app, says, oh, this is a guy I thought I was dating. We were exclusive, and yet he was still on the app. And then you get girls chime in, oh, yeah, I saw him. I talked to him. And so they all piled on. So if you're going to go on this is kind of like what I've talked about, guys that are in college and they're in a fraternity, and then they're hanging out doing a party with their sister sorority. They end up sleeping with a girl, and then they go back and they talk shit about her. And then it gets back, and then now everybody in the sorority knows that he's a dickhead and he can't keep his mouth shut, and he was bad-mouthing the girl. Whereas if he'd have walked away and she'd be like, oh, he's really great, his dick is really big, it was so good in bed, and she's telling her sorority sisters that, well, then her sorority sisters are going to want to be hooking up with that guy also. But they go and they take a turd in the punch bowl, basically, and they totally cockblock themselves, and they cause a bad reputation. So if you're doing things like this, you should never lie to a woman and let her think you're exclusive while you're still trying to date and screw around on the side. And it's disappointing this guy's in law enforcement and behaving this way, but it is what it is. So anyways, and on top of this, her father just died. And so now it doesn't seem like he really even knows whether it's over or not. He kind of alludes to it, but he's real kind of vague in here. And when he's being vague, that just tells me there's details he's leaving out on purpose because it just doesn't make him look good. But it's a good email to learn from, because this is not what you want to do. He says, hi, Coach. I've read the book twice and I've been following your work. Also followed you since COVID. Well, I say read the book 10 to 15 times for a reason. You've read it twice in 6 years. So that tells me you're not really a serious student. You're just cherry picking and looking for quick fixes. It might not be a big deal when you're just dating and hooking up with random women, but if you want to get serious and have a long-term relationship, you're going to get some attainable success, which you're getting, but you're not going to be able to sustain it. Obviously, you didn't sustain this because you were still talking to other girls. He says, I've had a great time with women, and I've been lucky to experience a lot of women here in Los Angeles. I'm a 31-year-old man, father, work in law enforcement, majored in sociology, and I'm very social, emotionally aware, and street smart, which has helped me with women as well. I'm reaching out for your perspective on a dating situation that escalated and ended abruptly. Well, love cannot exist where there is no trust. I was exclusively dating a woman for several months, end of August until possibly 2 days ago. We did talk about exclusivity and operated under the understanding, though we never formally defined a relationship. Well, if you make a commitment to somebody, you should honor it and keep it. I mean, your job is to hold people accountable and enforce the law when they're not complying with it. But you made a commitment to her, and your commitment and your word doesn't mean jack shit. During that time, I made the decision of occasionally getting back on Hinge despite those conversations. Come on, man. even as my emotional investment in her was growing. I was present and supportive well before her father passed away, and during that period, she trusted me with her home and cats while she traveled to be with family. Her father passed away on Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, and she posted on the T app that following Monday. I guess in a way to cleanse her life of people that do not need to be in it. Well, if you're dating a girl and she thinks you're her boyfriend, and meanwhile you're still on Hinge talking to and going out on dates with other women and doing who knows what, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, you're lying to her. You're in essence, you're cheating. So why would you bullshit her and say, oh yeah, we're exclusive? Let her think that while you continue to date other women. It's like, come on, dude. The situation unraveled after she posted about me on the T app and later discovered that earlier in the dating phase, I had still been on Hinge. Yes, women were commenting about me. Dude, you just totally cockblock yourself. It's like, why? Some women were women I didn't even meet in person. Well, the damage was done. It was a pile-on. Despite the trust she had shown in me and the intimacy of our communication, the discovery caused her to feel betrayed. Well, duh. I was not going to lie. Well, you kind of did lie. You committed to her when you didn't have any intention of honoring that. So your word is meaningless. I told her I did talk to other women. I didn't hook up with them and had to figure out what I felt. And once I realized she's the woman I want to settle down with, I chose that route. As I was cat sitting and home sitting, I took care of my duties. I left groceries, flowers for her, took her scrubs to be dry clean scrubs. So I assume she's a nurse. Well, so she's also in a field where a lot of lying and cheating happens. So who knows? Maybe she's a liar and a cheater as well, and you just didn't date her long enough to have her cheat on you back. Right, Momo? Essentially, I'd planned to do that before all this to create a safe space for her to grieve, so I kept my word. Yesterday, when she got back home from her trip and her father's death, I left my cologne in the dresser where I kept my stuff, along with clothes that I had from before. So you had an assigned dresser drawer in her place that had your stuff in it. She texted when she got home, "Thank you, my mom is coming home with me, so I can't have any drama." I replied with, "I've always respected your time, and especially with your family in town, nothing changes." Around midnight, she texted me, "You forgot your cologne. I can leave it outside for you to pick it up." That's pretty cold. So I assume that he got dumped, and he's kind of leaving that part out, or I don't know, he doesn't really say here. I replied, "I got that cologne to wear for you, so it doesn't really interest me to pick it up." She replied, "Okay." I had that cologne with other belongings, and she didn't tell me to pick my stuff up, only my cologne. We've had conversations on how I like to wear cologne to the gym and when I'm at work in my sheriff uniform. Well, an Italian shower is always better than being stinky. You got to emanate the proper air. A couple of weeks ago, she told me that she can see I'm more in tune with my emotions, our sex was great, and I could tell she was possibly in love with me. I would have made it official as I'm ready for that, but she was still going through a lot of emotion. Well, at the end of the day, dude, you said you guys had a commitment, and she was proceeding under the assumption you were exclusive. So you said one thing and you did another. Love cannot exist where there is no trust. I'm trying to understand where I failed in leadership. Really? You didn't keep your word. You cheated on her. Like, how was that hard and difficult to get? Whether I allowed ambiguity to exist too long, didn't fully align my actions with exclusivity once it was discussed, or underestimated how deeply exclusivity is felt emotionally, even without a formal label. Well, again, you said in your email that you guys were exclusive, or at least she thought you were exclusive. And that was, again, you said that was the assumption that you guys proceeded, even though you weren't officially boyfriend-girlfriend. So, and the other thing that is obvious is he was seeing this girl for 4 months. And remember, he's been following me for 6 years, but he's only read the book twice. So that tells me there's still a lot of things he's got to learn. He's making mistakes, because if he was really, truly following what was in the book, she would have been head over heels in love with him by the second month of dating. But they were 4 months down the road, and they were exclusive. But it doesn't appear she was head over heels in love with him. That's why I say you got to read the book 10 to 15 times, because there's things that you're missing. So what most guys what I see them do is they'll read it a couple of times and they'll learn some pickup and some casual dating and hookup stuff and seduction techniques, but they don't pay any attention to transitioning through regular casual dating and into a relationship and maintaining a relationship. And so when it gets to that level, that's usually where things get really squirrely and go sideways, just because they didn't take the time to learn that information. And then when things are going sideways, then they go in panic mode trying to cram it all in a short period of time when they're emotionally hijacked, which makes it really hard to do more things right than wrong. I want to take accountability where it's mine, learn from this, and avoid repeating this dynamic in the future. Well, don't tell a woman that you agree to be exclusive and then continue dating other women. That should be common sense. I'm just surprised that you don't see what the issue is. I am obviously open to a future with her, but I'm not pushing it, letting her grieve and come back to me. So at this point, when she reaches out, hey babe, I want to see you, what's your schedule like? And then invite her over to make dinner at your place, hang out, have fun, and hook up. Keep it pretty simple. You should be following what's in 7 Principles Get an Ex Back, and I highly recommend you watch that video and article. It's on my website. So, because there are objections in there. She might try to balk at that. She might try to get you to meet her for coffee or lunch or meet on neutral ground or whatever. But at the end of the day, if she's dumped you, which it kind of looks like she has, then invite her over, hang out, have fun, hook up. If she wants to talk, I wouldn't talk about what you did in the past. I would just focus on living in the moment and hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, and letting her talk about whatever she wants to talk about. And if she wants to rehash those things, you've already apologized to her. But keep it fun, keep it light. Because again, as the book says, your job is to create the opportunity for sex to happen. So, again, it looks like he did apologize, but it looks like the damage was done. And that's why she was like, hey, it's weird though, she would say, hey, pick up your cologne, but not the other things. So, maybe she was just was planning on putting a box out there with your cologne and everything else in it. That's possible too. But at the end of the day, I'd stay in no contact. I wouldn't reach out to her, let her reach out to you. And then say a month or two goes by and there are clothes and stuff that you want, just say, hey, it'd be great if you could send me my stuff back. Or she'll probably say, I'll leave it outside for you. And then you can pick it up when you know she's not there. But follow what's in 7 Principles Get an Ex Back. And dude, you got to keep your word. You can't be telling a woman that you're exclusive with her while you're still dating other women. It's like, that's just common sense. Your word is your bond as a man. That used to mean something back in the day. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the coaching tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our exclusive premium members-only content, in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify or our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there. You can do a 7-day free trial to check out what content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan, you can get a 25% discount at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, sign up for a 7-day free trial today. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.